and then you're going to include the non-integral citation. And remember, we need the author's name, the date, and then I can always jump back to look at the section where I actually do. So this is page 2, and this paragraph here kind of is talking about or describing those characters. Now notice again, so we've got the past tense for the signal verb in our paraphrase. We've got the author's name, date, and then page number, so everything's fine within our non-integral citation. But then in my next sentence, which is going to be my analysis sentence in the triad format, I switch to the present tense, and that's to help my reader know that was from the story, this is what I think about it. Now remember, this is just my first draft, right? So sometimes when you're writing like this, the best idea is to, they always say starting gets you halfway, right? So even if the ideas might not be that, even if they're not brilliant, at least getting something down on the page during your first draft is going to get you, 75% of the way there. Then after your soak time, when you come back, you might want to alter or sharpen or improve upon the way that you've written that first section of your paragraph. Okay, so good. We've got our first triad in there. We've talked a little bit about characters. So now I can have a transition that moves into this next important level 1 thing that I want to discuss. So there are no rules, I'm not telling you you have to do anything in any particular order. Whatever makes synthetic sense to you is the way to do it. So you can see here that I've partnered up setting with descriptive passages. Now technically, if we were to go back to our short story elements, right, you'll notice that, here are the level 1, and here are the level 2. Now, in truth, separating these into levels is more or less an arbitrary thing that I have done, right? And you could debate with me that you disagree with the way that I've organized these things, and that would be fine. As long as when you're doing your writing, you put things together in a way that makes sense to you. So I would say that in this case, the setting and the descriptive passages, it makes sense to discuss them together, right? Because they support each other and they are connected to each other. Similarly, an element like the climax or the conflicts, these are really important. Even though I've put them on the level 1 slide here, these are very important parts of a story, and it almost kind of makes sense to deal with the climax or the conflicts separately, because the conflicts are what drive the story, right? They're kind of the engine that moves the story forward, that makes things happen. So sometimes they deserve their own section of a paragraph or an essay, right? Anyways, like I said, as long as you can logically support what you're saying, that's the best. That's the best way to go. You don't need to. You're not married to this format, guys. The main reason I separated them into these levels is because these things you've probably heard about before, and these ones are a little bit more literary in focus, and so I kind of put them into their own category, because these are kind of the more remote or esoteric types of devices, right? Anyways, let's keep going here because we're just about at our time limit for this particular video. Okay, let's see, where are we here? Good. Good. So now I'm just going back to check my page number as always, right? So now I've completed, this is my second citation here. So this is the setup sentence, right? We've got our transition is predicted here, right? The next crucial aspect. Then this is the setup sentence of our second triad. Then we move into an integral citation, and then my analysis is going to come next. But we are just about out of time, so I'm going to have to finish that analysis sentence, and then I will post the video and the writing assignment. Now, essentially, you can predict that you're going to have to write your own analytical paragraph, and you're going to pick one of the 3 short stories that will be up on our Module 3A and write me an analysis paragraph between 250 and 450 words, trying to include the triads like I've demonstrated here. Okay, so let's finish this off so we can get it posted. Now, obviously, this is not the completed paragraph, but again, working within that short time window, I wanted to provide what the triads would look like and have a little bit of a talk about how you set things up. If I was going to finish this paragraph entirely, I would move through talking about similes, metaphors, and personification, because those 3 stand out quite strongly in this story, and there are quite a few examples of them in this story. So that's obviously something that you will want to do in your paragraphs as well. Okay, let's see. Let's just finish this off here with my analysis. Okay, excellent. So, as mentioned, you're going to write your own analytical paragraph. You're going to pick one of the 3 short stories, and you will need to submit this, but it's not due until the end of Module 3A. Wonderful. Good luck.